Franklin Kanyako, and he wants an internship with Bloomberg New Energy Finance, and so I followed him on Twitter so that he could send me his resume, and I forgot to unfollow him. So he retweeted, this is completely by chance, he retweeted a tweet from a brilliant Irish doctor called Niall Conroy, who is setting up a neonatal unit in the second or third biggest city in Sierra Leone, saying we had a blackout last night and we lost three of our most vulnerable babies died. Oh. Surely in 2017 this shouldn't be happening.
That's
awful, heart-rending. I was at a big dinner and I was just checking Twitter and I see this thing, and I tweeted back. I said, okay, look, first of all, I'm in for the first £5,000, and I will get together a solution if the hospital, if you can get all the permits.
Yeah.
Well, let's solve this. So we're now at the point we're about to launch it. We'll launch it, I think, next week. We've got a design. We found a local company that does solar projects. It's a 20 kilowatt solar and battery system. We've got to get all the permits in line because we need, the clinical director of the hospital, Dr. Taylor, and we need Juliana, the chief nurse, and they've all got to be happy with this. But it's all designed, pretty much ready to go. And just by talking like this, I've already had the pledges for the first £20,000 out of. We need to raise £100,000.
Right.
When we get to $40,000, so £35,000, we can order the batteries, and that's the gating item. We need to get the batteries on order because there's a lead time, and I'm just feeling time pressure because right now,
if it
every blackout,
again, it can happen again.
The thing is, the babies need oxygen. They need oxygen. They need warmth. And if they're 2 hours without oxygen, they'll die. And the problem with the electrical system is most of the power comes from hydro. And as you get closer to the dry season, they start to ration the power. So they might have only about an hour a day, 2 hours a day, or something. Now that's fine if you're charging your mobile phone, but if you're a premature baby on this unit,
it's 24/7.
So, it's just tragic, and we've got to get this thing done quickly.
So how long ago did that all happen?
All of this kicked off end of November, and since then we've been working on getting the system designed and getting getting everything lined up. So there's going to be it's called ProjectBo, ProjectBo.org. We've got the website nearly ready to go. Actually, this guy's so fast. By the time he'll upload it before the website's live.
Before you
You
announce?
can probably do what you. I just want to get this done. I want to get this done as fast as possible.
Did you get the pledges here?
I got one pledge here. I'm not going to say from whom because he hasn't allowed me to. But one of the project. I want to do this in this community. People say, oh, why don't you go to UNDP, blah 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 blah, DFIN, and so on. I want this community to rally around and get this solved.
And
I think that's because it's going to be the fastest way to do it.
And if you turn it into a non-profit and you get nominated for the Design Future Energy Prize in a few years, will you recuse yourself from the discussions?
I'll recuse myself and I'll make a humble speech.
But that's how a lot of these non-profits and small businesses started up.
We've all decided
project.
There's a bunch of us involved in it, including some former, Laura Stachel, who's a former, I think, a runner-up a couple of times.
And you said Richenda Van Leeuwen?
Richenda Van Leeuwen, who's UN Foundation, and I met through Sustainable Energy for All, and I think we've all said, look, we want to do this one project first. Whether we then say, okay, let's do all neonatal units, or is it all maternal care and baby? There's a pediatric. Where are the gaps? We might move on and make this a big thing, but equally out of the woodwork, you suddenly discover that there's this charity already doing stuff and so on. So maybe we'll hand over the But for the moment, there's a bunch of us that just want to get this one done and dusted as quickly as possible.
That's amazing.